the whole, but I'm too tired for that. It's time to make this happen. Are you guys ready to? So you realize the lights are down. I'm seeing only about 18 lights or so. I want to see your flashlights here because we're about to bring up the person. We're about to bring up the icon, the legend. And first what we're going to do is we're going to introduce the man who will be sitting down with the Q&A. Yes, he is born and raised Regent Park here in Toronto. Mustafa the poet became known for socially conscious poetry during his youth. The man made recorded records with, of course, people like Jonas Brothers and The Weeknd and Drake. Mustafa has also been named to the Prime Minister's Council. Yes, the Prime Minister's Council, Mr. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Please make some noise for the one and only spoken word artist, world-renowned Mustafa the poet.
I know they had you guys waiting forever, man. Please. Another warm welcome for the greatest in the world. All right, man, so. All right, it goes without saying that the city of Toronto loves you deeply. The diaspora communities love you deeply. So I want to know how you feel about the city. How's it been? How's Niagara Falls?
Assalamu alaikum, guys, good to see you. It was amazing trip to Niagara Falls. It was my first time here in Niagara Falls, but this is my second time in Toronto. You know, I was here almost 10 years ago, 2013 September, when I was fighting in UFC 165, and when I fight versus Pat Kelly. It was almost 10 years ago, but that time and this time it was completely different, because I remember that time I came alone. It was fight week. I was cutting weight, and no language, no English, you know, no. At that time it was very easy to handle fight week because I was not famous, and you know, and now I come back after 10 years here in Toronto, not for fighting, for meeting my people, you know. Amazing feeling, amazing feeling.
That's amazing, man. So, speaking of Niagara Falls and like falls and rivers, you grew up in Dagestan. You grew up in the mountains, and from a young age, your father had you training in ways that none of us could imagine. You were swimming in dangerous rivers, you were fighting bears, and you had a kind of a routine that the average young person wouldn't have. Could you tell us what it was like and what you learned from that time growing up?
You know, this is my young age, you know, when I was grew up in Dagestan with my father in my village. It was good time, and same time it was not fun time, you know. it was hard life, and before we moved to capital city, Makhachkala, from small village, you know, even when I moved from village to capital city, it was hard, not because of life, it was hard because of language barrier, because in Dagestan we have like 30, 36, 37 different languages, and nobody understands each other. This is completely different language, like, and to understand each other we have to speak in the Russian language, and because of I was living in a village, in my village we speak in Dagestan language, and when we moved to capital city, it was very hard to connect with people. And you know, like some people, they you know, they surprised, like, oh, how you speak like so fast in English, but they don't understand this is my not second language, this is my third language, you know, and I hope they understand my language right now.
I want to speak a little bit more. All right, there we go. I want to speak more about your father. May Allah have mercy on him. But he made the path possible for you, you know, and he taught a lot of the community. I know that he was like a leader in the community. He was coaching and training a lot of people. And now you're a coach, and now you're a father. And so what are the things that your father taught you in that time that you carry forward now that you're in the positions that he was in?
Yes, like time goes so fast, you know. Right now I become on position what my father was. You know, he was, you know, and he was father, I become father. He was coach, I become coach. You know, it's like crazy. I remember like yesterday I was like kid. You know, I was a student, and the last 10 years, so much happening around me, and I think this is like life experience. You know, it's like best teacher. This is life. When life teach you, and you learn. And you know, it's like this is very good mix, you know. Everyday life give you some lesson, and you learn, you have to become better, because some people they make mistake and they never wanna fix this, you know. And it's good when life teach you, when you see what happening around you, when you can make good decisions. You know, it's like a lot of things happen around me, and yeah, it's like right now I am on a position what my father was, you know.
Amazing, man. And I guess moving more into like you as a coach, you have Islam, you know, and you also have Usman, who just won the Bellator champion. And so, like, you know, what is the feeling of having, like, you know, fighters, especially Usman being your cousin, you know, and having the people that you love and that you know and that you've trained go out there? And what's the difference for you in feeling from being a fighter and being a coach?
You know what? Interesting. Like people call, like example, like Usman is my cousin, but he just born 1998 when I just meet Islam. I think sometimes Islam is more my cousin than Usman. You know, you never know who is your real cousin. You know,
Yeah, we know all about that here.
it's like Islam younger than me, like more than 3 years, and this is we was growing up together, training together all life. And Usman younger than me 10 years, and this is big difference. But even we still train together. I push him a lot, and yeah, right now we have current UFC and Bellator lightweight champions. And this is amazing. This is amazing. I hear like long time ago when one guy was talking about we here to take over, but we here to take over. And you know what interesting? It's like I coach not a lot of people. I coach like people who was around me, like when I was active fighter. It's like this is like maybe 12, 15 guys, you know, and I just on the way to a venue here to arena, I was watching like we like 13 people we have combined win in MMA almost 300 fights, and this is crazy. Nobody ever did this in MMA before. It's never happened, you know, and I'm very happy because of this, because I know it was my father hard work, the way how he invest us, the way how he teach us, the way how he push us, you know, it's like everything. Right now, even now, his legacy keep going, you know.
Amazing. It's true what you're saying about how it's never been done before. And in your professional life, you're undefeated. And as a coach, you're also nearly undefeated. And I guess the question of failure comes up, you know? And we don't see any of your failures because we've only seen you win, you know? And so what are your ideals on failure? Like, how do you deal with failure in your personal life or outside of what we see?
I don't do nothing. I'm just not. I try to no stress, you know. Like if something happen, it's happened, you know. What we can do, you know.
I feel you.
No, I'm not joking.
All right, I have a serious question. So you can coach anyone you want, and I want to know, like, what do you look for in a fighter? Like, what are like kind of the values that you look for, like, you know, when you're kind of identifying a fighter that you want to train?
Like coach or like fighter?
As a coach, like what's the kind of fighter that you want to identify to actually train? Because there's so many people that would want to be trained by you, but what are like some of the characteristics? For instance, basically what I'm trying to ask is, like, if I wanted to train with you, and if I wanted to fight, like, what would I have to do? You know what I mean? In order to, because I'm born in '96. I know Usman's born in '98. I got 2 years on him. You know.
No, first of all, you have to follow my rules. You have to follow my rules. You know, it's like it's not easy, I think, because I don't think I'm a nice coach. I'm a nice person. No, I'm like I think I'm a nice person, not bad person. But like a coach, no, I'm not a nice person. And I'm not joking, so. You guys have to join with our training, then you guys not gonna smile. I know this for sure.
I think I can handle it, honestly. Like, I'm like, you know, I'm here, you know, I'm from, you know, where I'm from here, Regent Park, you know, I dealt with a great deal of things. I think I'm prepared. It prepared me for this conversation.
Okay, like I don't finish. Sorry. It's like some people, like when they just join with my training camp, they don't understand like a lot of things and like beginning, but the way how I watch right now how guys training in MMA, they do a lot of stuff they supposed to not to do. You know, you don't need to do like 1 hour meets work or CrossFit, lifting like this. I told my guys always, if you wanna become success MMA fighter and you like from Dagestan and you know how to wrestle everything like a little bit, you need every day you have to grapple and wrestle 1 hour. If you don't wrestle and grapple 1 hour every single day, this is not MMA training. Okay, if you guys wanna do fitness, like around the world, millions and millions girls doing this same training. They do fitness training. They train too.
I love that. I guess
Not finished.
you're not finished.
Because it's like if you don't wrestle, like for example 1 hour today, and sometimes I message my guys because I'm traveling a lot, you know, it's like I try to control them, and I message them like, what you do today? Like he say, oh, I was training. Like what training? What kind of training? I was running and lifting. This is not MMA training. You have to compete with the fighters. You have to wrestle, grapple, you know, like spar. You cannot just call it like you was training, like if you run like 20 minutes and you're lifting like 40 minutes. This is fitness training. This is not MMA training. I ask you what you do in MMA training. I don't ask you how many times you run. I don't care about how many times you run. And this is very, very important things. A lot of MMA fighters, they make mistake. I know because I've watched, I follow everything, and they will have a lot of fighters train. Like I don't like this.
Amazing. Now that we're here, can we talk about like fight day? Like what happens on fight day? You know, it's like for those of us aspiring, you know?
Fight day, like for example, like the day before you make weight, and next day, and it's like because, for example, right now, most of the fighters they cut like almost 10 kilo, like most of them, and 10 kilo is like almost how many, like 20 pounds, 25 pounds. They almost all fighters cut like this, and next day they gain this almost 10 kilos back. And morning you have to sweat, you have to train a little bit, you have to sweat, you have to feel your weight again. And of course morning when we wake up before breakfast, we train a little bit, like 30 minutes, 40 minutes like this, then breakfast, go sleep, and that's it. Just stay away from everybody, stay alone. I like stay alone, you know, because people, if you're gonna go and talk with people all day, they take your energy, you know. This is very important to keep your energy. And it's very important to stay alone and stay, if you can, sleep. Like a lot of fighters, they cannot sleep because they wake up and they're very excited about fight night, you know. A lot of guys, they cannot sleep, but I prefer to sleep. And I prefer to sleep. Even when we come to the arena and we have like 3-4 hours before the fights, I sleep. I know it's like a lot of people, they don't understand, but I just said, like, I'm gonna sleep 1.5 hours. I can't sleep like this. I don't know about yourself. Like, I can sleep like, when I want, I can lay down and sleep like 1 hour, 40 minutes, 1.5, like whatever I need. I sleep, wake up, like good warm up, and try to enjoy inside the cage.
That's amazing. And actually, there is like a hadith of Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam where he says, take naps because the devil doesn't take naps. And so
What is this naps?
Huh?
What is
Naps is like is what you're doing, like 1 hour sleep, 1.5 hours of sleeping, like just like temporary sleeping through the day. So like you're doing sunnah, you're doing what the devil's not doing. Is what I'm trying to say. I think even outside of like the fighting and the training, what we witnessed from you is that you have like true integrity as a human being, and we feel it in the way that you move. You're very composed, and I think that composure is hard to achieve. And you started the Eagle Fighting Championship, and you decided you weren't going to take any partners. You weren't going to have any partnerships with alcohol companies or gambling companies, and which is important. And I guess the question is, as a person that's always kept his integrity, why was it important for you to make decisions like that, not aligning with companies like that?
Because money is not everything. They try to give, they pay good money, it's like alcohol, like bad companies, most of them promotions, they still alive, let's say it like this, like they still alive because of these companies, they pay good money, but I prefer to say no, and that's it, It's like, because these kind of things, they kill our generation, new generation, young guys, I cannot promote this in my platform. My platform, I create this platform only like sport. Like people, like fighters, like athletes, they can come and compete. Not like go to the outside when you're strong to smash weak people, No, this is, if you wanna fight inside the cage, And this is competition. This is not to promote some alcohol or bad companies. I don't create this platform because of this. That's why I say no.
I love that, man. It's beautiful. I guess, and on that question, I think people will always make assumptions with the decisions that you're making, based on your Islam and your identity as a Muslim. And a lot of times it's hard to have to have to carry those kinds of burdens and expectations. People have a lot of expectations of you as a Muslim. And how do you kind of juggle your personal relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Islam and the way that it is publicly as well?
It's not easy. It's not easy, I'm gonna be honest. It's not easy, and just try to don't wear mask. With mask, it's very hard to look. Just be yourself.
Don't wear a mask. Don't be fake.
Sometimes with mask, you cannot move like years and years. One day your mask gonna go down and people gonna see your real face, And just be yourself. And it's like, I don't like to, like this with fame, like what come to me. Like I don't like to, when people say like, oh, this is like example, like something like this. No, I'm not example. I don't want to be example, and I never try to be example for people. I have small community around me, like my kids, my family, my brothers. I try to give them example, and of course, because I'm famous, I cannot do nothing with this, But it's not easy,
All
I
right.
love you too, brother. I didn't see you. I love you too.
On a lighter note, the World Cup is happening, and I guess on the topic of the World Cup, what was your favorite World Cup growing up? If you experienced one, or if there's one you're really connected to, and who are you rooting for this year?
Today morning, I just was watching open ceremony, Ecuador, Qatar, this game, you know what interesting? I was watching Canadian TV and I see these people was talking about football and these people don't understand nothing. This is why biggest TV in Canada, they bring these people and they talk about football and I can see, I can understand, they never watch football. I don't know how popular in Canada is football. I know it's hockey is very popular here. But But football, I think here, not many people understand football.
I think people love football in this crowd for sure. To be honest, I'm not gonna lie, I don't watch football very often. So I can't really defend the Canadian team. I don't even know who's on the team. But is there a team that you're excited about?
Canada?
No, not Canada. It's the World Cup.
You know, I watch, I was following like this sport from 1996. I remember first time I watched Euro, it was 1996 in England. When I was 8 years old. I remember like I watched with father. It was semi-final of Euro, England versus Germany. And from that time I follow everything about football. Like all World Cup, Euro, Champions League, Premier League, like Italian, Spanish, like English Premier League, like everything. You know, this sport is for me is like still on the top. You know, like even like MMA, like fighter, like I become like accidentally. You know, I don't know how I become fighter. I love football.
Amazing. Do you have any favorite athletes outside of fighting or even within fighting? You know, are there athletes that you're looking at? You could also.
You know, sometimes you meet your heroes from your childhood time. You know, it's like and I don't want to talk bad about nobody. And I think like when I was 10. It was Ronaldo, Zidane. When I was young, you know, I was like 10. No, old Ronaldo. You guys don't understand what I'm talking about. I know you guys support Messi. And this is what I'm talking about. Today I was watching Canadian TV and like I can say they don't understand nothing about football.
Oh, that's amazing, man.
Oh, this World Cup, I'm gonna choose 3 teams, and maybe you guys don't like this. I think England gonna do very well. Yeah. I think Brazil is very good, and I think Netherlands. Oh, it's very good team. Why? We just talk, you know. But there is, I know, Argentina, France, Spain, it's like a lot of good teams. There is like Croatia, Belgium, and Denmark. They're very tough team, you know. But I just choose 3 teams and let's see what's gonna happen. Let's see. Morocco is still good. Morocco is very good, but if we talk about like top 5, sorry, man.
All right, man, I think it's time for us to do the rapid fire questions, man. So, Khabib hasn't heard any of these. He doesn't know what I'm about to ask. It's gonna be very simple. It's one thing or the other, and you just have to answer it as quickly as you can. All right, wrestling or football?
Wrestling? Restaurant?
Wrestling. Or football?
No, for sure football. I'm tired with wrestling, but all my life I was wrestling. That's just football.
All right, beach or mountains?
What?
Beach, the beach. You know.
Beach or mountains. What happened with your language? I don't understand. I'm living very close to beach, but I don't like to go beach. It's mountain.
I love that. Summer or winter?
Summer. Sorry, Canada. Yesterday was too cold.
You want to call or text?
Call, much better. Call is much better.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how to pronounce this. It says sushi or verinki?
No sushi, no vareniki, but khinkal.
Either. Okay, so no more.
Dagestan food. You have to try khinkal.
Alright, Dagestan or Abu Dhabi?
Oh, brother, nothing like Dagestan.
Coaching or fighting?
Next one.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Pizza or burgers?
Burger. Burger, watch him say it, burger. He says burger, he says burger. That's what he talks about.
Depends in what country. I think Canada, it's not good with pizza and burger too.
No, we have some great burger and pizza
If
places.
you guys know some good burgers, send me location.
Nur Pizza is best pizza in Toronto.
I think burger is better.
Burger is better? Okay. Prediction for Islam's next fight?
That's in fight, that's a big fight.
Next fight, Islam next fight?
Islam's next fight, what's the prediction?
It's gonna be. I told Islam like even before last fight, with Charles Oliveira, I told him like Volkanovski is gonna be tougher than Charles Oliveira, like before the fight, because he was like, if Charles don't make weight, Volkanovski is supposed to fight with him, and like I think is like he have good experience, of course, like experience like Charles and Volkanovski, they have same, okay, they have both good experience. But if you talk about like fighting IQ and big heart, I think Volkanovski is better than him. And I think Volkanovski gonna be a tougher opponent for Islam than Charles Oliveira. But anyways, who cares? We're gonna finish this game.
Alright, I have a heavy one, I don't know if you want to answer it, but is there anyone that you wish you fought in the past or that's kind of...
GSP for sure. Definitely GSP.
In my mind,
His dad wanted
yes,
to fight GSP.
it was couple fighters. It was couple fighters for sure.
Hasbullah!
Okay, GSP. Okay, if you guys want. But I respect this guy a lot, you know. It's like I grew up with his fights. You know, when he became UFC champion 2007, and I was like, I was even don't beginning my professional career. I was amateur fighter, and I watched a lot his fights with my father. And you know, it's like GSP was like, you know, like role model in MMA for me. You know. And if you guys want to fight, okay, let's say GSP, because we're here, we just talk, you know. We can say whatever we want. But of course, like it was Tony Ferguson for sure. For sure. But this has never happened, and you know, Tony Ferguson, GSP, okay, you guys want GSP. And
Who's the fight? Hasbullah!
and I think it was 2014-15 when Anthony Pettis was UFC champion. Like it was Anthony Pettis. Like that time, I really want to fight with this guy, but then he lose his title versus Rafael dos Anjos. After that, his career go down. He never come back. And it was Anthony Pettis, Tony Ferguson, and
GSP.
Canadian superstar GSP.
You know, I'm just watching all the people in the crowd hurl words at you, and throughout your entire career, you've had people trying to throw you off balance, you know, and take you out of your focus, but you've been incredible and really a master at staying focused amidst all of the noise that's around you. Do you have any practices to, like, you know, to develop, you know, your mental state, you know? Because it feels like no one can take you out of the state that you're in, you know, mentally and emotionally. I mean, from the outside, you just have a good way of separating.
Sometimes I lose my control.
Yes, we've seen it.
You know, like, I'm human too. Sometimes I lose my control. Of course, when a lot of people look at you, of course you have to control yourself, but sometimes I'm not a nice person too. You understand what I'm talking?
I feel it. Yes, say no more. I guess it just makes me think of everything that happens in Toronto, you know, being from Regent Park. There's a lot of different Muslims in different communities in the city that are engaging in like gun violence and fighting in the streets, and for a lot of them, their ego is attached to whether or not they could win fights. And so, I guess now that you're outside of the octagon, you know, and you're not fighting in professional capacity, what would you say about people that like kind of fight in the streets to gain their respect? And what are the ways that you gain your respect without having to fight anymore?
It's a very good question. You know where I'm from, right? Dagestan, from Dagestan. You know, if you don't wear like, if you don't have gun, and you're from Dagestan, it's mean you have to wear. You know, this is like same culture like in Dagestan. But here, I don't know in Canada, but US everybody wear gun. You know, and if people ask myself if I can make decision, like I think you can wear gun inside your house, just protect your family, you know, because anything can happen. You with your family, kids, you the king inside the home, you know, protect yourself. But outside, I prefer to say no gun. This is my opinion, and because a lot of crazy people wear gun, you know, sometimes they don't like something happened, like, you know, it's like you become very emotional and you can do whatever you want, you know. You can make mistakes, you can kill people, you know, like because of emotional. But inside your house, okay, you relax, you with your family, kids, okay, some people come to your house, protect yourself, but not outside. This is my opinion. And fighting outside, you know, if you fight it and you train like, and you know how to, okay, let's say to smash people, okay. It's like, it's not good to fight. Like all my life when I was young, like I remember my father always told me like, you cannot fight street, you know, you cannot fight. But I was young, and in Dagestan, it's not like US or Canada. Like if you meet like 100 people, like here in Canada, maybe only one know how to wrestle. But in Dagestan, if you meet 100 people, if you meet 90 people, they know how to wrestle, they know how to fight, and, you know, and this is like very big traditional in Dagestan. Even like when I was in school, college, like 80% of guys, they was doing MMA, wrestling, judo, like grappling, jiu-jitsu, boxing, you know. And it was normal. It was normal to fight, you know. But there is always have to be fair, you know. You cannot just because of you stronger than him, you cannot just beat him, you know. And it's like it's have to be fair. This is not problem only here in Canada, US, Europe. This is problem in Dagestan too. Like we talk about like this bully stuff, you know. It's everywhere, you know. It's everywhere. Kids is kids, you know. Like when you're 10, 15, you don't understand nothing, you know. Like, and this is very dangerous time, you know. I was grew up, I was 15 too, I was 14, but I think because of my father maybe, yeah, like because of his advice, because of he spent a lot of time with me, he talked to me a lot, you know, about this stuff. I think that's why I control myself, but anyways, I was fighting in street a lot too, you know, because I was grew up in Dagestan, and it's very important to parents spend time with kids, you know. Sometimes, like weeks and weeks, they don't even see their kids. They go to their work, they come back, their kids sleep, you know. It's like it's very important to spend time, you know, to talk with kids. This is bad, this is good, you know, and something like this.
No, that's a beautiful answer, man. Thank you so much. I guess we explored you as a fighter, you as a coach, and now I'm thinking a lot about what your goals are outside of coaching and outside of fighting. Like, are there other dreams that you have for yourself? Now that you've conquered these two, you know, kind of worlds in ways that no one could imagine, is there other worlds that you want to enter?
Football. Outside. Number one goal is like spend time with family, I think. It's like most important. And I try to, try to find balance. Even last, since September, October, November, even like this last 4 or 5 months, we cancel Lara Eagle FC show because of like Usman, Islam, Abu Bakr, Zuba, Umar, like everybody was fighting, and I don't have time to spend with other my projects, business time, because I have to stay focused with these guys because they're supposed to win. And this year we have like 95% winning streak in our team, you know, like almost everybody win. You know, it's like we win, I think this year, how many fights? Like 20 fights, something like this. This is crazy. I mean, even like alone Usman, he win 3 fights. Islam, he won 3 fights. Like 2 guys, they win 6 fights and they become UFC Bellator champs. And it was like my priority. They was my priority, you know, because they have biggest fight in their life, and I realized I have to spend a lot of time with them, you know. And goal, like, of course I have some business projects, but business right now is like couple years ago it was a little bit hard because I just beginning. Right now I can control my business from Canada. But most hard time for me right now it's like to spend time with family and kids, you know. This is my goal.
That's a beautiful goal, man. And I think we're nearing the end, and so for the last few questions, I wanted to pivot more to your position as, you know, really the undisputed champion of the world, you know, and like constantly you're hearing that you're the greatest and that you're undefeated and that no one can touch you, you know, in the space that you entered. And it's important to be that, you know, it's important to have that kind of a power and to hold that position. But it's also important to be humble and to have humility. And you seem to somehow be a really humble person, you know, even though you hold that position. And so what are ways that you try to stay humble when like you get praise from all over the world? Because praise can be a dangerous thing, you know, when people are praising you left, right, and center. So how do you stay humble?
What I can say, but like how I stay humble, I don't know, but I just live my life. You know, it's like the way how my parents teach me. Okay, what I can do, because I'm world champion, I cannot smash you here. I
hope not. Yeah.
You know, like what I have to do. Like for example, like a lot of people surprised, oh, you don't do this, but this is like our responsibility. You know, it's like what I have to do because I'm world champion. I have some credit, or like I don't understand question honestly. But
I mean, I think a part of your humility is that you
like humble. Okay, like humble, like what? What I do? Why you think I'm humble guy? Why? It's a good question. I think it's like why you think I'm humble?
I think the thing is that most people, if they were the world champion, they would think that they can smash me in my face right now, you know? But I think that the fact that you're thinking of yourself as a world champion doesn't mean that you can do or act a certain way is amazing, you know?
You know, trust me, my friend, like anybody in the world who just come out from poor life and he becomes success, let's say like, not only in sport, like in like anywhere he becomes success, he's gonna be humble because he see like other life and sees this life like he can compare, you know. He can, like, if he's not crazy, of course. Like some people, like they lose their mind, they become famous, strong, rich. Okay, I can do whatever I want, but trust me, not many people like this.
Yeah. A lot of people lose their minds. I think a lot of people forget where they
No, most of them they nice people, most of them. But of course there is like some people they lose their mind, you know, and they lose. One of the reason why they lose, one of the biggest reason, not because they bad people, not because they start to using like drugs, alcohol, everything, and they lose because alcohol is mother of everything's bad, you know. It's like sins, like everything come after alcohol. If you guys use like doing these drugs and alcohol, you're gonna lose your family, you're gonna lose your friends, you're gonna lose your respect, like everything, you know. This is like, it's very hard to stay, you know, in like, it's very hard, I know, this is true, it's very hard, but most of them like bad people, and you can see like when you watch like some person, you can understand this guy bad or good, you know. This is not hard. And just check, he use alcohol, like 99% of bad people, they use alcohol. And that's why I said no alcohol to my promotion, no bad like companies to my promotion, because of bad companies, how many people they lose their family, they lose respect, they lose money, they lose houses, like they lose everything. And how many people become billionaires because of bad companies? How many? One person, and millions, they lose everything, you know. And like, if you see some bad people, just check. He use a lot of drugs and he use a lot of alcohols, you know. It's like my opinion, I think I'm not like nicest guy, like best guy. I'm like maybe 50-50. Sometimes like, but like when you talk about humble, like why you think I'm humble? For your question. Woo! I'm like you guys. I'm Sam. Only one thing I do better than you. I beat people. I do better than you guys. I know how to beat people. I know how to hurt people. But I never do this. I was doing this inside the cage. Now I'm finished. I'm Sam like you. I go sleep, wake up, drink coffee. Sometimes like bad mood, good mood. Like I'm Sam. Nothing different, you know, between me and you guys.
That's humility, man. You defined humility, man. I think you were talking a lot about home, and it's like a lot of what makes people lose their center is that they forget about home, you know. Once they make a little bit of money and like they leave their city, they don't go back to their city, they don't go back to see their friends or their family. And did you have like a central group around you of people? Like outside of that octagon, there's a group of people that are waiting for you, that are cheering you on. Who are those people, you know, that are rolling with you, that come with you to the fights? Are they people that you grew up with?
No, like most of them, I grew up with them. You know, most of the people. There was when I was like 14, 15. There was 20, 22. There was my father world champions. There was my father favorite students. You know, and because of they have like amazing relationship with my father, and they still around me. I can imagine if my father was bad person, of course everybody gonna run from him. But even when they finished their like professional career, they was still talk and still was like around my father like his kids, you know. And I remember when I was inside the gym, like he never take care of me like I'm his son. He always say, inside the gym, everybody is my son. Nobody is like special here. Everybody follow my rules, and there is like no this nephew, this son, this is my neighbor, or this is my student. No, he take care of everybody like his sons. Like even Islam like, and couple of fighters, they was like, Islam was like one of them, my father favorite students, you know. He treat him like he treat me, you know. It's like same inside the gym. Of course, in house, like at home, it was different relationship. But for my father, they was all same, and we still talk. We still, like, you know, like not like just friends. Like we like family, you know. We all know each other parents. We all know like kids. We're still talking, and when someone go to the fight, when, like, for example, Islam or Usman, Umar, someone have fight week, we all flights, you know. Even me, I just landed here in Toronto, Usman was in Chicago because I didn't have visa, I cannot go there, you know. But with him, it was like 15 people from Dagestan. They all was grew up with us together, and when someone have important fight, we all flight, you know.
It's beautiful, man. A really important thing that I've been thinking about for the last week is how you promised your mother that your last fight would be UFC 254, and you've honored her wishes. And why is that important to you, you know, to honor that promise that you made to your mother?
Because of I finished my career, because of I promised mother. That's why this one discussion between me and my mother become very famous. But we have a lot of different things who, like, people don't know about this, you know. Not only this promise, I follow not only this promise to my mother, like I follow everything about mother, because you can have friends or kids, whatever, like you can have whatever you want, but you're never gonna have one more mother. You have only one mother. For me, it's everything. For me, it's everything, you know. Because of mother, we can go to Jannah, you know. This is very, very big. One of the door, you know, one of the door. Like, we can treat mother very good, and because of this, like, we can go to the Jannah, you know. I love mother because of millions and millions reason, you know, and I know, even like in Dagestan, like, this is not about like Dagestan or not. I know a lot of people, they have bad relationship with parents, and I really, really don't understand this. How can people have like bad relationship with parents, like, and yes, mother for me is everything. Even now, she's still with me, like living with me, like in same house, and I treat her like queen, you know.
That's beautiful. Please, you guys, a warm round of applause for the greatest in the world.
How is? I have a question.
Oh, okay.
Who are you? Who are you? Tell me.
That's a really good question. You know, my name is Mustafa, you know. It means the chosen one. It's one of the 7 nicknames of Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. I grew up in Regent Park. My dad runs a mosque in Regent Park. I grew up in the masjid, Umar bin Khattab Masjid. And I'm a writer, you know. That's I'm just here to moderate the conversation. One last thing, I do want to do a second 4 round of rapid fire questions, because I think I got a few good ones.
Let's go. You
All
don't
right.
want to talk about yourself? Okay. I understand.
No,
I'm joking.
You're the more important person on the table, you know? I'll ask you guys, Khabib or Mustafa, go. There we go, you know?
It was bad idea for you.
right, this is the second round. Running or stretching?
Second one, what you say?
Stretching.
No, running is better. I don't like stretching.
I feel you.
I like stretch people. Like when someone stretch people.
Books or video games?
Video game.
What are you talking about? Like video games, guys, this is one more things. It's like right now in the world, like killing our young generation.
I hear that.
You know why, guys? Because they spend hours and hours with video games. This is kill your brain, you know, like maybe this year, 2022, I play maybe 1 hour in all one, maybe 2 hours, okay, let's say 2 hours. But I like video games, but I say no because you kill your time. Most important thing, okay, you can buy whatever video game around the world, but you're never gonna buy time. You know. And like for young guys, when you're 14, 15, every minute it's important, you know. This is like, it's very, very important. Like, don't spend like time, like hours and hours with video games. And of course, books. I love reading, you know. It's much better. And first what Allah said to us, it's iqra. In Quran, it's like iqra. You have to read. We don't say play. We say iqra, chitai. Like read. This is very important.
Amazing. That's a great response. All right. Islam or Hezbollah?
Asbi.
If you guys not gonna show this video, Hezbollah. Don't show to Islam.
And the final one, Eagles or Bears?
It's a good question. I think Eagle. Because doesn't matter what country, Canada, Australia, like example Chile, Russia, Europe, Africa, you can travel whatever you want in what country, doesn't matter, everywhere Eagle gonna be on you. Everywhere.
The greatest round of applause for the greatest in the world. Thank you so much for the conversation, for the wisdom that you gave us.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
We want to do something very special real quickly before Khabib leaves. A very, very special presentation. I want to ask our CEO, Penny Pio Camden, Talha, to come out here and make the special presentation to Khabib.
Khabib, Jazakallah khair for coming to Toronto, Mustafa for hosting a great interview. Give it up for these two guys, please. Khabib, you know, a lot of us have lost loved ones in our life. You know, whether it's your dad, your mom, your brother, your sister, grandparents. And may Allah have mercy on your dad. When he passed away, it was during COVID, due to COVID, and it was heart-wrenching for all of us because of the story that you just shared with us. So, on behalf of Penny Appeal Canada, on behalf of the city of Toronto, on behalf of Canada, we've got something special for your dad. Inshallah, it will be a means of Sadaqah Jariyah for him.
এলাকার পানি নিয়ে খুব সংকটে হচ্ছে, যেভাবে আমরা কষ্ট করছি, যেভাবে সরকার থেকে
আমাদের এই নদী ভাঙনের কারণে নোনা পানি আসার জন্য আমাদের ছেলে মেয়েরা
এখানে খাওয়ার পানি সংগ্রহ করতে গেলে অনেক দূর থেকে খাওয়ার পানিটা সংগ্রহ করতে হয়।
পেনি অ্যাপেল ইউকের সহযোগিতায় সুশীলন সোলার ওয়াটার পাম্প অ্যান্ড পাওয়ার সেন্টার স্থাপনের কর্মসূচি হাতে নেয়।
আমাদের সোলার পাম্প থেকে যে পানিটা আমরা সংগ্রহ করি এখন বর্তমান, এই পানিটা পেয়ে আমাদের যে সুবিধা, দেখা যায় বাচ্চা কাচ্চা যে আগে পানি খেয়ে যে রোগে আক্রান্ত হতো বা নিজেরাও হতাম।
Takbir! Takbir! On behalf of Penny Appeal Canada, we want to thank you very much for an incredible evening. We want to thank Mustafa the poet, of course, Toronto's very own, and make some noise for the undefeated